Now today marks the official day that we now have had the MT09 in our collection for 24 months. And as the 24 months have gone by, we've put a lot of the rides out there on video. We've done a lot of the modifications on video. And the evolution of this bike is something that I think is interesting to me, as it started off with some parts that I was real not happy about, but I knew it was a blank canvas. And I did all the labor-intensive things like polishing the exhaust, the tail tidy, the Graves tail tidy, where there was a video already out there that had some errors in it. We now have a good one out there. Some carbon fiber work, and the polishing and the painting and all of the matching the paint, the stenciling and the decals, and that John Pothier was so helpful with. Painting the wheels, a labor of love. And it really was, I think, the better part of 2 years to get all the small details done to where I actually feel like now I have made the bike my own. Now the weather promises to be perfect today, and we just can't wait to get out on the open road, taking advantage of this time of year, which is really one of the prime. It just doesn't get a lot better than this. We went through the hot spell. It was really a little bit too hot, and 2 or 3 months from now it'll start getting chilly. But we are in the best of the best right now, and we're going to ride every day that we possibly can. Now, I always like to start off a day, if I know I'm going to ride, by pre-flighting the bike, doing the common things like wiping off the bugs or the salt or whatever, checking the air in the tires, the chain, the oil. I like to get and make sure everything is okay before I just jump on a bike and leave. I know a lot of people don't do that, and they think I waste time in the morning. Well, maybe I do, but I like knowing when I pull out of that driveway, it's as good as I can make it. And I always try to get all the things done for Karen in the morning. We have to take care of the pond. The pond is high maintenance. The flowers, all her flowers and vegetables have to be watered in. We do it every day, just because it's been such a hot summer and we don't want to lose any plants. And I do enjoy it. And I like to go out on the open road on a day like today, knowing everything is done at the house. And usually while I'm away, Karen, oh, look at that. That's going to be harvested in a couple days. And we got tomatoes coming out of our ears right now. Okay, now no fighting. No fighting, guys. Come on, you can do it. And Karen and I both love just walking out to the garden and getting fresh tomatoes. I think today she's going to make something with tomatoes, but we're getting a great harvest. So while I'm out riding, all this is going to become homemade tomato sauce. Special. Roasted homemade tomato sauce. So when I get back from the ride, that's what I'm going to be having. Oh, even smells good, baby. And the weather today predicted to be in the mid-80s, just about perfect. Blue skies, 0 chance of rain. And we don't believe a word of it. Now, I've owned some of the bikes in my collection over 40 years. This bike I've now owned 24 months, right to the day, in fact. And this is the part of a motorcycle, if you've had it for 24 months, if there's something you don't like about it, it really starts to gnaw away at you. This bike, I've just loved right from the beginning. Now, all the carbon fiber parts on this bike, I check them constantly, see if there's any scratches, any cracks, anything. All of them, even the ones I made from scratch, have just been absolutely perfect, and that adds a nice touch to the bike. And after 2 years, after 24 months, I've gotten so used to the quick shifter. I wish I had it on all the bikes. I've gotten spoiled by having 50 miles a gallon during this time of inflated gas prices. And the bike just always entertains. And of all the things I've done to make this bike unique, the paintwork, the windshield, the painting around the lights, the custom-made carbon fiber parts, the custom mixed blue paint, every one of them, all small details, but they all add up at the very end. And after 24 months, I'm not sure what I still want to do to the bike, if anything. I'm at a loss here for what I want to do over the winter that's coming up. But the good news is I always seem to think of something at the very last minute. And I've been riding early in the morning when there's still shadows on the road and shadows everywhere, and try to take advantage of some of the nice cool morning air. And I've gotten through the whole summer. I think we're through the worst of it now. And to be honest, I haven't missed one riding day all summer. And a ride never goes by that Valentine radar detector doesn't pay for itself. Boy, if there ever was a blue chip investment in riding security and a way to save money, wow, that is the best accessory you could put on any bike, that Valentine. Now, for my riding style, having a quiet exhaust, absolutely priceless. How many times I've been coming around a corner and there'd be a radar trap or something, and nobody even knew I was coming. And I just think I have to go through populated areas. It saves my bacon. Now, one thing I really love about Yamaha Racing Blue, you park the bike in the sun when there's not a lot of shadows, and that color has all little pearl in it, little flakes. That is one of the nicest colors for a motorcycle that I can think of. This picture just happened to be this way. Look at a light shining down somehow through the trees. It's almost like a Joe Roselli picture with some trick lighting. That, and by the way, Joe, thanks for that picture. I look at it 100 times a day. This is really a pretty cool picture. I may have to save that. And every day that goes by, I like those Michelin 5 tires even more than the day before. And they are wearing way better than I thought they would. I keep track of the little bars. And I'm hoping that when they're gone, I'll be able to test a set of Michelin 6s. And the MT09 is happy on the highway. It's happy on the back roads. I see some leaves already starting to fall. It's going to be happy when the leaves make the road slippery. Even better when we get salt on the roads. It is truly, truly an all-weather fighter. Now, another thing after 24 months that I thought I would find something about the bike I really couldn't wait to change. I haven't found it yet. In the beginning, I thought I'd want to change the seat, and as time's gone by, I haven't really found a reason to change anything. And one of the sneaky little things that I changed on a bike was changing the screening front and back on the seat and the screens. And every time I see a stock bike with the two big screws with washers in the middle of the scoops, I just think, ugh, that was a small modification that made a big difference. And changing to the Graves tail tidy, it took 9.5 pounds off of the back of the bike of unsprung weight. 9.5 pounds. That fender eliminator in the back, 9.5 pounds. Now, it took me a long time to get the windshield exactly the way I wanted. Add the little wings to the bottom, make the carbon fiber parts that are underneath, get the angle of the windshield to where I was happy with it, and get the lowers painted, and then get the covers around the headlights shiny black. But in the end, it all paid off. And the only issue I've had in 24 months of owning this bike, I had 2 flat rear tires with nails in them. I'm not sure you can blame that on Yamaha or on somebody who threw the nails out of the back of their car while they were driving. I don't know. But in the end, we have new tires. Another thing that really worked in my favor was Dennis at Gavin's when he custom mixed this paint. I bought a quart of this paint. The paint was $309 a quart, $307 or $309. And I thought at the time, oh my God, that was expensive. Then I found out how much other people are paying for paint. It really wasn't that different. And every time I stop and take pictures or shoot some video of the bike, I park it in the sun, park it in the shade, park it in half shade. I look at it from a lot of different angles. To me, this is now one of the prettiest bikes in my collection. And there's so many little things about the bike. The safety features, for one. The fact that the brakes are really good on this bike. They're right up there at the top of all the bikes that I have in my collection. The little details that I've done, the cosmetic details, it all has made a beautiful package. Now, just another thing about that tail tidy, the original video didn't show the part you had to cut. The little video I made for them shows the part you have to cut. Not a big deal, but you got to know you got to cut it before you put the tail tidy on. And now, with 24 months of riding this bike on every possible road that I could get on, and during the cold, the warm, the super hot, the hot where you could die, it has been probably the best 24 months of my life. And I apologize to all my friends who get sick of hearing me say how much I like this bike. But the problem is I really do. And sometimes it's hard to control my emotions. Now, all beauty, of course, is in the eye of the beholder, but in my eye, this bike and the design changes I've made and the paintwork and the logos and the silver wheels and the windshield, and then top it all off with having the Valentine and a comfortable seat. So with 24 months of riding a bike, now I can honestly say if there really was something about it that I really didn't like, I haven't found it yet. And the only thing would be self-sealing tires, but I don't think that's going to happen. And as a free bonus, the bike was thousands cheaper than the competition, and it certainly suits my needs to a T. And it's time to get back to the farm and see what Karen's up to. So JP Tree is right in front of the house, cutting more trees down. Oh man, is that guy good. He did some work for us. And we had a tree right there that they took down and one behind the garage. And he took Treezilla down. Hey, it was a wonderful ride. We can't record anything out here with that machine going, but hope you did enjoy the video. So the rest of this day was pretty much devoted to cleaning up the mess from Treezilla here across the street. The chips and things were all over the front of our property. So, and he has just been a real good tree guy. He did work on 2 of my trees already. Super good job. And once I got the cleanup done, put the bike away, have a nice big cup of iced tea. Check out the tomato sauce that's being brewed in the house. I always feel like every time I get back from a ride, Karen has something special she's cooked for the family. And this bike is just, now that I've had 24 months of riding it, I knew right in the beginning. I actually knew the first time I rode the bike. I sat on it and I just said, this just fit me to a T. Now, of course, it's not going to fit somebody 5 inches taller or heavier or lighter or skinnier or what, but it fit me. And that's the only one that I care about. It's the only one that matters to me. Anyway, he's now 2 years after getting it. He's a permanent part of my collection. And I never like to say he's the best or the worst. He is a good bike. So I hope you enjoyed the video, and thanks guys so much for watching.